Hey guys, it's me, Emily. I am back. I wanted to give you guys an update on everything because I realized I hadn't made a video in a while since the first one I made, kind of launching this journey of mine to find out where I come from and to try and discover my birth family and my connection to them. And so a lot has happened in the last month and a half. A lot of things in my personal life have changed. It seemed to hit warp speed really, really quickly. And come June, the past month has flown by. And here we are at the end of June, and my world is totally upside down in the best way possible. And I'm happy to be able to share that with you guys because I think it's really important, and I'm hoping that you guys can get something out of my journey and what I've gone through. So here I am at 9 o'clock on a Thursday night, as raw and real as it gets. This unedited video that I'm just going to throw up to the world and see what happens. And here I am. So the biggest thing that I can update you guys on is that since I made the video, I have actually found my birth mother and her family. Mind blown. This has been the craziest journey, and it all kind of just happened so fast, and I'm so happy it did, because now it's Thursday, and I actually get to meet them for the first time in person on Monday. Holy cow. This has been just the way things have come together. I don't think my life has ever come together this way before, in this smoothly. It's just been the craziest thing. So let's go back to the beginning a little bit. So since I made the last video, I dove into Ancestry.com with vigor, like I told you guys I would. My bird family tree has like 600 people in it now because I traced my dad's family back to 1600s Germany and France. That's my 9 times great-grandparent people. Like, what? Yeah, those records are there, and it's amazing. It is a rabbit hole I never wanted to come out of. Honestly, I think I could do Ancestry for a living, and I would be fine with it. But I'm not, so that's okay. But I'll enjoy it as a hobby. It is fantastic, and I absolutely adore everything that I've been able to find for my family. On the flip side, I also cracked the code my mom's family history, which was really, really great for me because we really didn't know much about them. So that's like 380 people in that tree already. And the crazy things that we're finding out, like my mom's very, very Dutch. Like, what? Anybody who knew her, if you would have looked at her, you would not have thought Dutch. The woman was very Native American. Her entire family looks Native American. So I'm trying to figure out where the heck that comes in. I'll figure it out. But a lot of her ancestors came from the Netherlands and Holland, of all places. So I'm excited to tell my grandpa that because I don't think he'll understand, for one, and two, like he'll be like, huh, I didn't know that. So those two things happen, and those are still projects I'm continuously working on. It's a process, and things are always popping up. And so it's crazy. It's never ending, but it's great. Simultaneously, I was also trying to find information on my birth family using my knowledge and recollection and the information I did have. And I realized that my memory was a little fuzzy of what I knew. I realized I hadn't looked at the documents in a long time. I realized what I thought I knew was not coming up with anything. So I was like, there's got to be something I'm missing. I'm missing something. I tried, putting things together and it just wasn't coming up, and nothing was really popping. I had started kind of preliminary list of records that I got on Ancestry of people it could be, just using basic information as in her birth year, her name as I thought it was spelled, her first name, unknown last name. Finally, I just dropped what I thought my dad had thought it was because it was just clearly wrong, and her having lived in or around the Waterloo area around the time I was born. And so From there, I said, okay, I got to regroup. And so I happened to be going home for a weekend for an event, and I was like, maybe I'll dig out the old binder. And the binder I'm talking about is this lovely pink binder right here. This is the binder I mentioned to you guys in my last video. This is the information and the documents that my parents put together. This is almost everything. And what isn't in here is in a safe box at my dad's house that is fireproof should anything happen. And so those are kept in there for safety reasons. And so I went through those documents in the safe box, combined with these documents in here. And I was at my dad's house. It was Sunday. I was about to leave for Kansas City, and literally my family was putting these just little clues and little things together. And from letters that we'd had when we corresponded when I was younger. And within 30 minutes, within like 10 clicks, I found a Facebook profile. And I literally have never been thrown back in my seat that way by information on a screen, because it was just too much to be a coincidence. Like, it was all fitting too perfectly. And I was like, there's no way that this isn't her, because if it is, like, I was 95% sure, because it was just fitting too well. And so I kind of sat with it. I didn't say anything. My dad literally walked in like 10 minutes later, and I was just like dead silent. Didn't say anything to him. I was like, I'm just going to marinate on this for a little bit, because I just need to come to terms with the fact that I'd actually found her. I think there was a sense of maybe I never would. There's that sense of like, is this something that's just really far out there? Is this a pipe dream? Is this something that could ever possibly happen? And if it did, what would happen? And I never dreamed I would get to this point. I think I'd always like fantasized about it, but I never like could physically see myself getting there. And yet here I was. And so I sat with this for a while, and then realized that I needed to find out more. So I kept digging, using the information from the Facebook profile, going off that, found out as much as I could, tracked down an address for her, and I was sitting with this address for like days, just not knowing what to do. And so finally, I sent my two very best friends in the world this message on Facebook saying, guys, like, I think I found her, and like, what the hell do I do? Luckily, my two best friends are two of the greatest people on earth, and they were very much supportive of everything I was doing and knew exactly what to tell me and exactly what to say, because that's how they're my best friends. And so Linz and Steph were very much supportive. They guided me through everything. So when I decided one night to type up a letter that I thought I would send to her to the address I had on file, I sent it to them, and they read it first. And they're the ones who said, this looks great. You can do this. And so that week, in a couple weeks ago in June, I sent the letter. My impatient self obviously was like, how long do I wait? Like, how long do I give this? Like, what if I didn't have the right address? What if she doesn't get it? I was like, oh my God. And so I was kind of sitting on my hands a little bit, trying to not, to give it time and to let the universe do its thing. Apparently I just had like this little less of patience than I needed. Because finally, like a week and a half later, it was like a Wednesday, I sent an email to the email address I had found for her, and then I sent a Facebook message to the Facebook profile I had found for her, just trying to make sure I was covering all my bases so I didn't miss an opportunity to connect with her, because I wanted to make sure I didn't regret anything and that I had done everything in my power to connect and to make sure I had done my part in reaching out and trying to make this something that was happening. Within 10 minutes, she messaged me back and confirmed everything that I had been asking. And that, yes, indeed, she was my birth mother, and that she had gotten my letter. Apparently she'd responded to me, and I just jumped the gun. So from that moment on, we were talking on Facebook. That night, I got to talk to her daughters, my half-sisters, for the first time on Facebook, and it was just this really cool thing that was happening. And of course, I walked into my apartment that night, after I got off work, and her letter was in the mailbox. I was like, really, universe? Really? Um, so from there, everything just kind of exploded. Apparently, people in her family had been waiting on pins and needles to hear from me, which was just a fantastic feeling. Because obviously, any adoptee, you're just unsure going into it, like if they know or remember you, who knows about you, what they know about you, if they want to know anything more about you, if they want to meet you. And I got the best welcome I could have possibly imagined. So it's been the greatest experience in that sense. And everyone's been so kind and just so welcoming and generous with their time and their information and themselves, and opening themselves up to this new journey, this next chapter. So it's been the craziest couple of weeks of my life. I'm anxious and excited and nervous and terrified and elated and joyful and so many other things regarding Monday's meeting and our reunion in person. I think that just adds another level, and I think that just kind of makes it real. There's only so much that technology can do, through Facebook and video chats and whatnot. So it's been kind of this elusive thing. I feel like not entirely tangible yet. I think it's different when you can actually touch a person and them being there and being like, whoa, this is really happening. This is really you, and so forth. And so it's crazy and weird and just, there's no words. There really is no words. But it's possible. I found out it's possible, and that's the coolest thing to me, that this is happening. This is real, so that other people can see that this is really a thing. Like, people can find their adoptive, their birth family. Birth families can find their birth children. This happens in real life to regular old people like me. So it's been just an exciting process, and having the support of my family and my friends has meant the world. I've never heard my dad get so excited for me before. I don't know. He's like, I'm just really excited for you. I don't think I've ever heard him say that in that way. He's like, I'm just really excited for you, and that meant the world. And to have my best friends behind me was everything. I messaged my best friends as soon as I heard back from her on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure I'm sorry, Linz, that I had her crying. She was on vacation on a beach in Mexico, and I had her crying, and I'm like, I didn't mean to. Happy tears, I'm hoping, but she was just so happy for me, and that's just like everything, to me, to have their support and have them have my back in all of this, because, it's a question of, like, I didn't have to do this, I didn't have to embark on this journey, but I wanted to. And then, of course, to find out that they've been looking for me, I think that's such a huge validation, too, that my birth mother and her family have been looking for me, and that somehow we made it connect thanks to technology and apparently my savvy FBI level skills. So I even pressed my father, which takes a lot. He's like, wow, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of good at this, Dad. So it can be done, guys. It can be done. I did it. I'm just like everybody else. I'm as vanilla as they come. I'm a regular old girl, and it's been the craziest journey, and it's not over. It's just beginning. That's the coolest thing too. So I will keep you guys up to date on all of this as it goes on, and what I can. Go follow my blog at smallgirlbigworld.com, and blogpress.smallgirlbigworld.com. And you can follow this whole journey. I'm going to try and do as much blogging and videoing as I can in between everything, just to really dive into this, because I think it's an important issue that people need to talk about, and hopefully my journey can help somebody else in the future. So please feel free to check it out. Please feel free to comment with questions. Shoot me questions on the blog, comments, whatever. I'm happy to answer things if you're wondering how I went about this and what I'm happy to impart any knowledge I can and any advice I can. The biggest thing for me is just, if you have documents and have a binder, utilize it. don't be afraid of it. Don't don't discount it. This information is where I started, and this is how I made everything come together, because you need these kind of documents. So whether that's requesting them from the agency, or your State Department, um, your local child services, whatever it might be, get as much information in your hands as you can, because information is power, knowledge is power, and that's going to help you in the long run, because it helped me. So thank you, Mom, for putting this together. Dawn was meticulous, and I will forever be grateful to her for that. And I'm just so excited to see what this takes us and where it goes. And oh my gosh, I'm still like blown away when I think about it. And it's been like 2 weeks. And so it's been like 2-3 weeks. And I'm still blown away. It's been crazy. And I love getting to know them and having them get a chance to know me, and asking questions, even the most random ones. I think everything's so important right now. So I will be making that check come Monday morning, and I'm so excited for it. And of course, I find out that they've just been down the road like an hour and a half my whole life. I'm like, really? That's crazy. And so you never know. You never know how things can come together. You never know how things can turn out, or how things might fall into place. So just let the universe kind of do its thing, and you can just help it along by, diving in if your heart's in it, and, giving yourself this chance to really learn more about yourself. I think I've learned so much about myself in this journey already, and I know there's tons more to learn. But I think it's so important that people know that they are not alone in this. There's other people who have done it. Other people just like you. So don't be afraid to dive in feet first, head first, because I did, and it paid off. So I promise you it works. So until next time, guys, thank you.